Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sarah Tackett, and I'm the Executive Director and CEO of the Defiance Area Chamber of Commerce. And welcome to our first Friday luncheon for the month of June 2020. Now, this is our first foray into the world of doing hosting a virtual luncheon, a virtual seminar. So welcome to our maiden voyage. We will be recording this session and then posting it about noon on our website. We'll be emailing out a link, and this will also be available on our social media. So we're very happy to welcome today Dick Epstein from the Better Business Bureau. Hello, Dick. How are you today?
Hi. Hello, everybody. Glad to give this little seminar a chance. I've never done one of these either, so we're all going to be first-timers at this.
Right. We'll be in this together. Now, Ohio has been opening back up slowly but surely. Businesses, offices. Here at the Chamber in Defiance, we've had our office open the last 2 weeks, and then this week the door was open for walk-in traffic. So we're working from home just like the majority of folks for weeks at a time, and we're grateful we had that opportunity to do that. How about you all at the Better Business Bureau?
Same thing. We've been working from home. Our office itself has been locked up until the first of this month, and we've been learning to manage really hundreds and hundreds of phone calls from consumers who want to know not just about companies, but also ask us questions about claiming their unemployment or where's their stimulus check or things like that, which have nothing to do with Better Business Bureau, but we have answers for them anyway. So it's been completely new territory for us, but it has been for everyone. And we just have to get our businesses back on track now and start the next phase in the business world and hopefully recover from this, because it's been a very tough time for all of us.
Absolutely. And just like the Defiance Chamber and our fellow chambers around the nation, the Better Business Bureau is viewed as a source of relevant, pertinent information, and certainly a referral source to all sorts of information. So if you could give us a quick summary of what the Better Business Bureau does, and then we'll start having you share the information you've prepared for today.
Well, the Better Business Bureau is a business ethics association, and we keep track of all the businesses in Northwestern Ohio that we can find out about. And then we give ratings on them. We give them an A+ or an F or anywhere in between. We have had more inquiries now than we had last year at this time, because consumers are more worried now. They're more concerned about being sure they hire a good company. We also have consumer education, things like this, or speeches to groups to warn them about the different scams that are going on. We do a lot of media warnings. We do we investigate charities and try to rate them and see if they're legitimate or not, because we have phony charities out there all the time. When there are problems like terrible tornadoes or storms or anything like that, BBB tries to get the word out to consumers how to shop smart, how to avoid being cheated and ripped off. And that's what I'm going to talk about today, is some of the biggest scams that we've been facing in the last beginning of this year, and also general scams that are just all over the place, hitting businesses especially, and also consumers. There's a million things going on, and I couldn't possibly cover them in one seminar, but BBB is available for information. You can go to our website, which is bbb.org, and check into a lot of company reports, or also file complaints if you've got trouble, or customer reviews. If you want to review a company for us, we handle thousands of those every month, and we're available to serve consumers, and we're always free. We never charge.
Absolutely. Well, you're a wonderful resource, and thank you for sharing a summary of just scratching the surface of what you all do. We'll turn it over to you, Dick, for you to share the seminar called Schemes, Scams, and Ripoffs.
Okay. Well, the thing that I talk about, I talk to consumer groups all the time, and I also talk to business groups. And this is a business group, but it's also, we're all consumers. So let me talk about, first of all, some of the easy scams. If you're in business and you run a company, small company, maybe a sole proprietorship, or maybe you're an executive with one of the big companies in the Defiance area, I want you to be aware of some of the little scams and the big scams that are going on. We just got through a pretty tough time with the coronavirus scams, the pandemic scams, out with all these phony websites that just popped up on the internet, and they claimed that they had masks and they had hand sanitizer and they had all the things we couldn't get. And we in business were under a lot of pressure to get this stuff. So I talked to many business people, big and small, that went online and they hundreds or thousands of dollars for masks or hand sanitizer or wipes or PPE equipment. And of course, things were complete scams. Nobody got anything. They were completely ripped off by it. We keep track of these companies. We tried to aware of who they were, and many businesses got, can I get my money back? And of course, the companies that did this or were fake, they've disappeared. Right now, we're concerned about some of these charities that are fundraising, and you'll get a pop-up or you'll get an email from a charity that'll claim that they are helping victims of the coronavirus or the pandemic. We don't know who these charities are. We investigate them. We try to find out who they are. A lot of times when you see these fundraising appeals, they may be a GoFundMe appeal, which we're always worried about. If somebody's got a GoFundMe appeal, our experience has been that some of these things are just completely scams. They go online and they say this is a family that lost their father is in the hospital with coronavirus, COVID-19, and the mother is trying to raise the kids and there's no money and can you send money? We don't know who these people are, and we don't know if they're legitimate or not. And as some of you may remember, we've had some phony GoFundMe appeals that have taken in thousands of dollars, and the whole thing was a scam. So be real careful. If you're going to give to a charity to help with the coronavirus pandemic, please make sure it's a legitimate charity. Hopefully, we encourage you to give locally, and that would mean the Defiance area. My experience has been that the local charities are the ones. Now, we don't have a lot of problems with the coronavirus in Defiance County or in Williams or in Paulding or Henry. We don't have a lot of problems with it. I think that the coronavirus has been very minimal in northwestern Ohio counties. I don't think we've had, 125, 150 cases total, and we've been very fortunate that way. But on the other hand, here in Toledo, we've had a much larger problem with it. Anyway, it's important that you be careful and research any charities that you're going to give to if you think it's going to help this problem. I want to let me give you some little scams, things that are really not that serious, but they're out there. Now, this is one. I'm going to show you this, and I'm sure you can all read it on your computer screens. I'm hold it up like that. Anyway, this is a bill for Huron High School's spring sports poster. One of the warnings I put out recently was about a company called Sports Media. And this is a company that sends invoices out to companies in the high school area. This particular one was sent to a company called S&H Blinds and Floors in Sandusky, but it was for Huron High School, which is a city near Sandusky, for their sports calendar or sports poster for $189. The company saw the Better Business Bureau warning on it and sent this to us instead of paying it. They thought that it was legitimate, but it isn't. Huron High School knows nothing about this appeal, and I'm afraid every year I warn about this because businesses get invoices like this for their local high school sports calendar or football program or basketball program or even outfield fence for the baseball program. And businesses pay money to sports media or these other invoicing companies. This particular one says it's located in Omaha, Nebraska, but this sports media is all over the country, and we don't know who it is. It's not your local high school. So if you get a bill like this for Defiance High School or any of your high schools, the first thing to do is call your high school, verify that this is really something going on with your high school, that they're sponsoring it. Because what happens is, when your high school, now in the case of Huron High School, they had no spring sports, but we see them for the fall as well. Don't pay these things until you verify them, because I'm telling you, some of these things are fake. Another scam that hits small businesses, and it hits in Northwest Ohio, is the phone call from the power company. This is a call that comes to, they come from AEP or Ohio Power or Toledo Edison or whatever it is, and it's a very official sounding phone call. And they tell you, and I know some of you have gotten this call, they say, we are coming out right now, the truck's on the way, and we're cutting off your power because you didn't pay your bill. And you say, what are you talking about? We paid our bills and you can't cut us off. We're desperate. We need our power. Well, I'm sorry. It's too late. We're going to shut your power off. It's nothing you can do. And you say, well, wait a minute. What? I'll pay my bill. I don't want to lose my power. Well, okay. All you can do is go to the local drugstore, go to the Walgreens or CVS or Rite Aid or whoever it is, and buy these gift cards or these green dot cards or the Apple iTunes cards or whatever it is, and give us the number of the cards, and then we won't cut you off. Now, it's ridiculous. There's no reason why a power company would want to be paid with gift cards, but they are so convincing. They are so, they sound so legitimate that, believe it or not, people fall for this. I have talked to business people who have sent $1,000, $1,500 in gift cards to these phone calls, and all they had to do was call the power company, and the power company would say, what are you talking about? You're paid up. You don't owe us any money. We're not going to shut you off. Power companies don't do this. But this is going on right now. I have talked to businesses that had these calls. Right now, businesses are getting emails from what it looks like the World Health Organization, WHO. And it says that we are contacting corporations, businesses in your area to warn about the latest scams with the coronavirus pandemic. And if you would like to sign up for this, just click here, click on this link, and you will click to a link that looks very official, looks like the World Health Organization really sends it to you. And they want information on your company so that they can send you the latest warnings on the coronavirus. No, it is not the WHO. It is a phony deal that is being sent to you from who knows where. This particular scam, we see email scams connected to the coronavirus. About 270 of these scams are identified a day, and they come from 50 different countries. They come from all over the world. One thing that we all know about, and I've talked about in my speeches, and you've heard about it in the news, is that the scams that hit us come from all over the world. I mean, the most obvious ones, the ones I've talked about for years, are the phone calls, the telemarketer calls, the robocalls that come from the IRS, and they say we're gonna arrest you. We've got a car coming out to arrest you. This comes to consumers. Some of them now will be connected. They will be connected to what's going on in Minnesota. We will be getting calls involving the terrible problems that we're having with law enforcement and all of that business. The criminals latch on to anything that's going on, and they use it in their telemarketing. They've already done this with the coronavirus. They call you and they say, we're calling you because as a personal call. It'll come to your home, and it'll say, a family member of yours, your grandson is in the hospital with coronavirus. He was traveling and he's in Mexico City, or he's in Jamaica, Peru, and he needs money right now. You've got to send him money because he's in the hospital with COVID-19, or grandpa, you've got to send me money. I'm stranded in Mexico City and I can't get a flight back to the States. And I'm counting on you, grandma, to send me money. And don't tell mom and dad. These are the grandma scams, and they're going on right now, and they're using whatever is in the news as a trick to get your money out of you. One more scam that doesn't get a lot of attention, but it's something I want you business people to pay attention to, because we call it the BEC scam, the business email compromise fraud. And it's a very vicious scam, because what's happened is all of us in business have been hacked. The criminals on the dark net have already captured our email addresses. They know the names of people in our companies, and they are now doing a very sophisticated scam called the BEC scam. They are contacting for example, they know what's going on in your businesses. They will sit for months and monitor your company emails. You'll never know they're there, but they're watching your email. And then when the boss goes to a meeting, he's out of the office, he's in Toledo for a meeting, or he's in Fort Wayne for a meeting. All of a sudden, the boss sends a message to the bookkeeper or to the treasurer. And the email says, hey, Fred, everything's going great here at our meeting in Fort Wayne. I can't play golf with you on Sunday, but I'll be here a little longer than I planned. But however, Fred, I'm working with the healthcare people here, and we need you to immediately send $5,000 to this address, because it's a deposit on a new healthcare program that we're doing, or we need it for a purchase that we're making for some equipment for the coronavirus, or whatever. You get an email to your bookkeeper, to your chief financial officer, to whoever it is pays your bills. It's completely realistic. It looks completely legitimate from the boss. And bookkeepers, or it'll say, I'm working here with the healthcare people, and they're doing a census of our employees because we might be able to save a lot of money on our healthcare. So I want you to immediately send me a summary of our employees. I need the W-2s, or I need the healthcare information, all the people, their ages and their social security numbers and what we're paying. Send this to me so that we can get a new quote on health insurance. What I'm telling you, business people, and this is vitally important, don't send anything unless you verify it. One of my board members, President Hunting Bank, he says, we have a firm rule at the bank that if anybody requests information like that, financial information, personnel information, they first must pick up the phone and call that executive and verify that it really came from him. Because the criminals in Nigeria, the criminals in Jamaica, wherever they're calling from, have perfected the business email compromise scam. It is vicious. It is very effective. I just learned yesterday that the Norwegian Wealth Fund up in Norway, obviously, which is the largest sovereign wealth fund in the world, just lost $10 million on this scam. We seen big companies. I've talked to victims, companies that have lost tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars to this scam, because the bookkeeper is convinced that it's really from the boss, and he or she is very efficient and does what they're told, immediately sends the money out, and then when the boss walks back in after the meeting, she says, I just want to tell you, I went ahead and sent that money you asked me to send. He says, what money? Well, you told me to send it to that address in Tokyo or Beijing or whatever. I never told you to send any money, and it's gone. This is, now BBB has a report. This is what it looks like. It says, is that email really from the boss? It's a 12-page report on business email compromise scams. And I encourage you, all of you that want to get a copy of this, just call Better Business Bureau or email us. Go on our website, go to bbb.org and click on live chat. And you can talk to one of our people, and we'll put one of these in the mail to you. Or, of course, it's online at bbb.org. But you business people, I believe that somebody watching us right now may have this happen to them in the next 30 days, and they're going to say, wait a minute, thank goodness I watched the Defiance Chamber lunch meeting. I watched the Better Business Bureau on the Defiance Chamber meeting because I know what that scam is, and that saved us money at our company. So it's very important to all of us in business that we erect a barrier, and the barrier is simply this: you never do any transferring of money based on an email or a text. You only do it when you pick up the phone and verify it, and that should be your company policy. Make it a firm policy. Make sure everybody is trained. After this meeting, talk to your folks there in the company, in your office, and say, make sure, don't believe an email from me or from the boss, the big boss, whoever it is, without verifying it first. That's a pretty good summary of some of the big scams we're facing right now. If you have any questions like that, call us at BBB. We are always there to verify information, and our website has millions of reports on companies all over North America. So if you're thinking of buying from a company, thinking of doing business with a company, one scam that is really important is if you're in a business where you sell a product to businesses around the country or to people around the country, and you get you put an ad on the internet, or you even use Craigslist, or it's just on your Facebook page or whatever, but you're advertising products or services, and you hear from someone saying, I'm really interested in buying from you. We really would like to buy from you, and I'm going to send you a check to make that purchase. Let's say you're selling your car, and it's $5,000, and you hear from someone who says, I'm going to send you a check for $5,000. I want to buy your car. But when you get the check, it isn't for $5,000. It's for $7,000. And you call or you email the company back, the guy back, and you say, why did you send me a check for $7,000? It's only $5,000. Oh, well, it was a big misunderstanding. My bookkeeper got the wrong amount. Just go ahead and deposit the check, and then tomorrow when the bank credits your account, take the $2,000 out and email it back to me or send it back to me. No, never believe an overpayment check. This is a big scam. And I've talked to businesses who, or you get a check for something and you deposit it and you ship the product. You're selling computer parts or you're selling furniture, whatever. And you get the check, you send the merchandise, you ship it out, and then the check bounces. But these checks for overpayments are counterfeits. For example, we had one where it said, we want you to wrap your car in advertising for our company, and we're going to send you a check to do that. So they send you a check for $2,000, but you're to keep $1,000 of it and send $1,000 up to Flint, Michigan, where they will make a wrap for your car that says Coca-Cola or Budweiser or whatever it is. You deposit the check, you send $1,000, and the check is counterfeit, it bounces, and there's nobody ever wanting to wrap your car. Don't ever believe an overpayment check. That's enough. That's about 20 minutes. Let me throw this back to Sarah, and what kind of questions do you folks have?
Dick, it's obvious you are so knowledgeable about this subject, and you grew up in Northwest Ohio, so you truly have a heart for wanting to protect our consumers and our businesses. And you're the local office, aren't you, for all of Northwest Ohio for these types of issues?
Yes. There are only about 100 Better Business Bureaus in North America.
Okay.
And there are 8 or 9 in Ohio. Our office, which covers all of Northwest Ohio, we go west to the Indiana line. We also include Hillsdale, Lenawee, and Monroe counties we serve. And then we go down to Lima and Wapakoneta. We serve that whole area. I don't want to talk about the Wapakoneta football team, but we do handle all of Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan.
Okay.
And
And I'll
I
ask.
mentioned before we went on, I'm a Bulldog. I'm a Scott High School Toledo Bulldog, so I relate to the Defiance Bulldogs, and
Good.
I work a lot with high schools as well.
Sure, we have Bulldogs and Pilots and Rams and Apaches, and we have all sorts of those school teams around here. So good to hear about your experience as well. I'll ask you again at the end, but tell us what's the best phone number to reach you should a consumer or a business have a question?
Well, the easiest number is 419-531-3116 or 800-743-4222. Those are the
Okay.
2 public lines. And we're open during normal business hours, but of course, almost everybody that wants information from us goes online anymore. So you can email us at info@toledobbb.org, or just go to bbb.org and click onto our live chat, and you'll always get somebody during normal business hours.
And now we here at the Chamber, we have received phone calls asking for, are we the local Better Business Bureau, and we do refer them to your office. So thank you for sharing those numbers again. You have mentioned, I wrote down 7 different scams that, and I'm sure there's hundreds and hundreds. What's the best way to recognize a scammer? You've given some great examples.
Well,
If it sounds too good to be true, is kind of a phrase.
yeah, that's a good one. If it sounds too good to be true, when nobody could get face masks, when nobody could get sanitizer, when nobody could get wipes, and then you get a pop-up, you get an email that says, we've got them, and their prices were really low, and we can ship immediately. That's just too good to be true. And that was a scam.
Right.
Another thing is they're in a hurry. You've got to ship right now. You've got to send us money right now, or we're coming to get you. We're going to threaten you right now. Those are pretty good indications of scams.
And so if unfortunately a person does feel, or a business does recognize that they have been scammed, who should they call?
Well,
your office, the authorities? What do you recommend?
A lot of people call us because we can route them to the right place. We know what agencies, for example, a lot of these international scams, there's a thing called the IC3, the Internet Crime Complaint Center, which is run by the FBI. If you want to find it, just go to Google IC3. Very, very good service. And you can file a lot of complaints through IC3 involving international scams or even intercity scams, interstate scams. We work with the attorneys general in both Ohio and Michigan. We work with the FTC. And a lot of times we can tell people the right place to go. A lot of these things, there's nobody can help you unless you have law enforcement, and we're happy to get you to the right place.
Okay, good advice. What if you report something and it turns out that it was legitimate?
No problem. That's what we wish were the case, and we get those from time to time. But a lot of times, right now, people are way behind. You've got to be patient, folks. If you've ordered something and it's been weeks and they haven't shipped, and you're worried, and they say they've shipped, but you've got to be patient. All of us are way behind. A lot of us are working from home, and it just takes, for example, right now, cruise ships are supposed to be giving refunds. Airlines are supposed to be giving refunds, but they are way behind. And so we, at this time, this very strange time, we all have to be a little more patient.
Right. I agree. Well, Dick, it has been a true pleasure to have you with us today. So knowledgeable. We would like to invite you to come back next summer and do an update on some of these topics. But we really, truly appreciate your time. And we want to thank everyone that has joined us today and listened, either via their social media or the link from our website. But everyone, be careful. And if in doubt, please go to bbb.org or call our regional office at 800-743-4222. And the Better Business Bureau of Toledo can certainly help you out. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great afternoon and enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.